So I have just downloaded the Scolmore app, which, do you know what? A lot of companies bring out apps and you think, why have you done that? It's rubbish. But actually this one, upon looking at it already, you can see it's brilliant. I do a lot of construction other than fixing cars for a living. Sort of 60% of what I do is actually constructing and wiring and plumbing and building. The good thing about Scolmore is they've actually brought out an app here, which basically contains everything that they have all on one app. So you'll recognize the brands ESP, Ovia, Scolmore obviously, and Unicrimp for the connections. There are other things as well. So if you just look through, you can go on ESP and it has all the fire protection, CCTV, blah, 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 blah. You can put those in your basket. You can actually, when I'm not dropping my phone, you can also go to the Ovia. That's the new lighting company, which is excellent gear. And I'm using some of that at the moment in our studio. Scolmore, as you know, click wiring accessories for lighting and all the switches and sockets and stuff like that there. Scolmore and Unicrimp, which is, you know what Unicrimp is, but from that you can also get all the adhesives and fixings, all the stuff you need. But let's just have a look at the bottom here, because they've also got this interesting thing, which is your toolkit. Now, I've done this myself where I've rung sparkies and I'm asking for power consumption, savings if I'm using, IP65 rated, 3 spots in the blah, blah over, GU10 or whatever it is. You can actually work out precisely on here for a customer power savings, voltage calculators and resistance calculators in order to work out exactly which gear you want to use. Is it 6mm twin and earth, is it 10mm twin and earth, whatever it is you need to use. They've got the kVA calculator, resistance calculator, voltage calculator, current, all of them are there. So in other words, for your electrical needs, these guys have got it covered. Current calculator, VIR, as I remember it from school, but your voltage, your power, and then it'll give you your current at the bottom of there. So whatever it is, you can double check it on here. And you know what it's like sometimes when you're scrabbling along, pulling some 2.5mm twin and earth through a loft space, and then somebody says, can you tell me if blah, 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 blah. You can actually just double check it on that. So let's have a little look at the Ovia lighting to begin with. Now I'm using a lot of this stuff in the studio that I'm building up north. Now let's have a look. So flood lighting externally. Okay, that's the external flood, the Pathfinder. You can click through and it gives you all the specs. So that's an IP65 one, dusk till dawn. So that would be, okay, so you get the model number here, which is good. You can add to your favorites list, which I assume is you can work through with the customer exactly what it is that they want. So I could stick that in my favorites list. That's good. Oh, save a quote to basket. That's good. Then let's say that I needed some panel lighting. Let's have a look. So go back through to, what should we have a look at? Let's go industrial. High bay. Let's go high on, high bay. And then it brings it up here. So it looks like, to my basic sort of discovery from this, that you have access here to everything that Scolmore make and all the companies that are owned by these guys, which seems like a sensible thing to do. So in other words, it's a one-stop shop for everything electrical that they make. So let's have a look at domestic. Lamps, downlights, LED strip. Now these things here, the strip lights, I'm a massive fan of these things. In fact, I'm not going to say I invented them, I didn't invent them at all. I discovered these things years ago when they first came into the UK, like 15, 20 years ago, and there were companies in Japan that were trying to sell them over here, but nobody knew what they were. But the good thing about these is a lot of them are now changed so that they're dimmable and you have the remote control, but you can also just have it so that they power on and off with your regular switch. But they stick down, it's the mood lighting, people use them on under cabinets, over cabinets, and kitchens in particular. It's sort of a mood lighting thing, but actually these things are now bright enough now to pretty much light up your room, so you don't need a main central light as well. Okay, so what else have we got here? Loads of those things. So here's the bottom line, the app. It's what you'd expect it to be, which is everything these guys make at the click of a button on a phone. The Scolmore app with me, Tim Shaw. I haven't seen it before, was that all right?